Hello, so today I'm going to take you through a routine that gets your spine moving through all of its ranges of motion. You're going to do some flexion, some extension, some rotation, some lateral flexion, and a little bit of rib translation. I don't know about you, but I'm spending way too much time in front of a computer. I'm seeing Zoom like way too many hours a day. So my spine is like, yes, please, give me these motions. The trick is make sure that you're initiating through your spine. Meaning, it's really easy if you're just getting rotational motion through your arms. But we want to think breastbone moving, core engaged, pelvis staying fairly stable. So I'll walk you through everything, but think repetition and practice. So if you take the first time and you're like, oh, I don't know, Kathleen, did I know how to do that? Probably the answer is not really, because we learn through practice. So don't worry, growth mindset, you don't have to do it perfectly the first time. You do not have to be great to get going. You just have to get going to get great. Okay, so let's lie on your back. You're gonna start with a bridge. But the bridge is quite small. It's not a yoga bridge. It's not a high bridge. It's not a wheel. You're not trying to arch your back. You're just knitting through your ribs, engaging your bum, and lifting up. Think ball of the big toe stays weighted. And then you roll one vertebrae at a time down. So you could do sort of 2 to 10 of those depending on how much you feel you need it, right? And once you feel like you're warmed up, you're just going to stay at the top. And we're going to add some spinal rotation, but really try to keep your pelvis still. So it's not a flippy floppy like this. You're not leading with your elbows. You're thinking breastbone. It feels different when you get it through your spine because, as I said, most of us are pretty stiff through there. Okay, then you'd roll one vertebrae at a time down and then lift back up again with your bum, engage your core. So again, you could do sort of 2 to 10 of those with the rotations. And then once you're like, okay, Kathleen, I'm feeling like good with the rotation, then you take your arm, just sort of lifting on a diagonal. Oh, feels really nice. Again, trying to really lead with the ribs. So it's not that hand, it's not that, it's ribs. I'm almost like pressing, starting with my foot and my pelvis, and everything's lifting across. It should feel really nice. And then I roll one vertebrae at a time down. So now we're going to get some of that lateral flexion. So you're going to bring the knee in. You're going to bring your arm up and you're going to reach over. Now, if that's enough for you, you just stay there. You're moving through 2 panes of glass. So you're not rotating, you're not flexing. Okay, but if you're like, I can handle a little bit more, then you straighten the leg. And the leg comes over as the arm comes over. So you're kind of creating a big C shape. It should feel really nice. Don't push it. Listen to your body. I always like to say, listen to your body as it whispers. Don't wait for it to roar at you in an injury. So you would do sort of 2 to 10 of those, and then you would switch. So again, feel free to leave your foot on the floor and just do that lateral flexion with the arm, moving through the 2 panes of glass, or if you feel okay, straighten the leg and get that C shape going. Oh, it should feel really nice. Kind of yummy, spicy, as Hannah would say on Peloton. I'm laughing because I always get annoyed at her because she says spicy so many times, and then I just said spicy. Oh my God, all my friends are going to laugh at me for that one. Oh, feels good. Okay, so then you're going to turn onto hands and knees. You can do a couple cat and cows, or cat dogs as I like to call them. For some reason, I'm not sure why I renamed them that. Feels really nice. And then you're going to do some rotation. So cross your arm over your chest and rotate up and then down. Now this is one that most people do wrong. They really use their hand. So again, no arm, all breastbone. Keep your pelvis fairly still. Okay, about 5 or 10 of those each side, depending on how stiff you feel through your upper back. I know that most of us have one side that's a little bit stiffer. So if you feel, let's say you're stiffer to the left, do a couple extra on that side. And that's okay. Make sure you're breathing. Okay, and then you're going to do a little rib translation. So your hips are going to stay still, your shoulders are going to stay still. My ribs go to my right, and then my left. Oh, really stiff to the left for me. So that's okay. No body is symmetrical, believe you. Believe you me, I've worked with enough of them to know. We all feel slightly different side to side. And then lastly, get that lateral flexion. Reach and over. Reach and over. Should feel really nice. And again, though, you're not yanking anything. You're just breathing, you're moving. And then it's always nice to just finish with a couple more cat and dogs. And then just sit back into your child's pose. Oh! You could do this at night before you go to bed. You could also do it a couple times throughout the day. Honestly, as I always like to say to my clients, try snacking on movement as opposed to snacking on food, because it's so easy to just be like, oh, I'm just eating, when really you're just bored or you're just in need of a break. So get up, walk around, get a few steps in, get a few stretches in, have some water. You will feel better, believe me. Blah, 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 go work out. The worse your mood, the more stiff your body, the more important the motion.